trapped.
Where do we go?
You smell just like Lois Lane.
Here's Johnny!
I know you're in there.
Betty, just open up the door for me, okay? Come to Daddy now. Are you still my little girl, baby? No.
Ben?
Are you still my little girl, baby? Are you still my little girl?
Not anymore! January embers.
My heart burns there, too.
It was you. How are we supposed to do that, Rich? It's so small to get through the entrance of the cabin. If we can get back there, we can force him down.
Mike? There's more than one way to make someone small.
I can't believe that he is.
The bathroom set with Jessica, the bathroom and the blood, that was particularly challenging, especially for her.
When I first got the script and it had Beverly in that bathroom stall and the stall filling with blood, I was like, oh, that's super cool, because first of all, it's terrifying and visually shocking, but then also I like the symbolism of it, you know, this idea of what does it mean for her to become a woman, especially in her house where she's being abused by her father. I love the idea of Beverly being swallowed up by blood. I then called Andy, we were talking about the scene, and he was explaining it to me, and he said that the blood would stop here. And I said, well, that's not very visually, you know, exciting. I was like, but why doesn't it go all the way up? If it's like a really terrifying scene, it should be like a Carrie moment, right? He's like, well, I just assumed you wouldn't want to do that. I said, no, if I'm trying to climb out at some point, let's just have me drop in.
When you're working with a very tiny set that has to be flooded with something, there's not a lot of space for the cameras. So you have to be very, you know, strategic with it, but also like seize the moment, because you can't do it like, you know, 17 times. We
really mapped it out as much as we could without the blood. And then we would do these things where I would be holding on and he's on, and you know, Andy's on the mic and he'd be like, okay, you can fall.
Blood is rising and action!
Under the water, I would plug my nose and I'd hold on to the bottom of the stall and I just like would count to 5. And then I'd like shoot back up.
I love you! And one more! And cut.
And that blood was so disgusting. Because it was like in your eyeballs and it gets in your nose and your ears and you just feel it all over you.
Show me what it would look like with your left arm submerged. That is pretty dramatic. I like it a lot.
Okay. You know, Andy was saying like, you know, oh, it's so great, Jessica, I'm so happy. I said, okay, well, you're gonna find out how happy you are.
One more time! One more time!
Very good. Bravo.
She had no problem, but she had to run to me after the scene and soak me in fucking blood.
No.
At the very end of the shooting day, I just gave Andy and Barbara the biggest bear tackle and the biggest bear hug.
I think her motivation during the scene was not character related. It was like, when I finish the scene, I can go to Andy and soak him up.
You guys look like you were just born. And it's my favorite picture. They blew up this picture and gave it to me, and it's the two of them just covered in this slime. It's so disgusting, but we all look really happy.
Fake blood, it's 4,500 gallons of fake blood.
Woo!
Right? Woo!
Are you yeah, are you... And that means that you are, like, you're in it. You're immersed in blood.
I was immersed in it. I mean, basically, it's kind of like a mixture. It's like KY jelly with red dye.
But you said, you encouraged the director, go for it. You said...
I did.
Like, pour as much blood as you got to. Go for it.
He said, you know, he was telling me about the scene, and he said, you know, it's only going to go up to your chest, and it's fine. And I said, well, this is our opportunity to really make something crazy. Let's do Carrie on steroids.
Right.
So I fully went in the blood, which I regretted a lot afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was pulling like stuff out of my eyeballs the next day. And...
Right. That could have been your eyeball. You don't know.
Yeah.
I want to talk about a couple of specific scenes, specifically the buried alive / blood scene, because I think the thing that gave me the most fear in the movie is just imagining you filming with this like opaque, thick liquid and being completely submerged and being like, how do I get out? What was that like?
Crazy, because it's something you don't really prepare for. They had built the tank, and then we did a rehearsal with water like the day before, so we could understand the speed of how it would happen and all of that. But after every take, I'd have to get cleaned up, and then they'd also have to drain the tank and clean it of the blood before we could do another take. So it was a long process, and we wanted to make sure that we were ready before take one. But it was gross. It was super gross. And I thought it was gonna kind of be like one day of grossness and then we're on, but they were covering me with blood every single day.
Never 6 whole weeks.
It's like 16 hours of, you know, like on Nickelodeon they slime you, or you know that stuff?
A dream.
Yeah, you're slimed for 30 seconds and that's fine. I was slimed for 16 hours a day for a month.
Yeah, and 6-day weeks.
Yeah.
What do they make it out of these days? Because it was like corn syrup way back in the day.
I think it felt like lube and red dye. That's what it felt like. And in fact, it dyed my hair.
That's what the cinematographer said.
Yeah. There were like chunks of, because I was wearing it every single day, the dye in the hair. Like I had like big chunks of red. Like right here.
You also had it around your eyelids all the time as well.
Man.
It was like,
I know. It's so disgusting.
Like